All right, so here we are for part two. So here we're going to take this cool magma rock, the tongue twister. We're going to take this cool one and we're going to make it so that it's got some hot lava. We're sort of doing the before version of this after rock. So what's really important for this, and something I sort of latched onto with the reference, is getting a distinct shape for this lava. So what I'm going to be doing for a little while is using a hard brush with no softness on it. So like in my class set, there's like these ink brushes. So that's what I'm using right now. And I'm just sort of going around the topography that I've already set up. And making it so that it kind of looks like it's melting down through the middle of this cube. And this is something I could do with a lasso tool, but I felt like really making it feel like it's, working through the cracks will really make this believable lava. So instead of using the lasso tool, I'm just like really drawing in where I want it to be. Using a bright orange so it stands out. Breaking little pieces of it off. Really fun. It's kind of my favorite cube to do, I feel. But learning how to paint lava is good if you're working in games. Any sort of fantasy game will have some sort of lava element. I had to paint a lot of lava in my life. I always enjoy it. It's like a really fun sort of visual problem. And I'm trying to get, like I said in the last video, big, medium, small shapes. So I'm getting big areas of lava, I'm getting small areas, I'm letting, big pieces of the magma break off, and I'm also turning them into little small pieces too. And right now this is all on a clipping mask just above everything that made it the original cube. And the purpose of doing this on its own layer is so that I can select all of this and just basically paint all the cool gradients and things like that inside without having to worry about redrawing or letting this stuff get kind of messy. So while I'm taking my time on this layer, that time will be worth it. And I think with the shapes, I'm just trying to sort of follow what's already there. So, it's giving me some interesting shapes. So here I'm taking an overlay layer on top of the lava layer. So I actually removed it from the clipping mask and then just created a new clipping mask order just for the lava part. So with the overlay, I'm hitting it with like a dark or a more orange. So on the sides, it's getting like a little bit darker. That saturation is getting deeper. And where I want the lava to be hottest, I'm hitting with a lighter value. And I'm going to use the rock brush again to get some like interesting patterning within that lava. You know, since it's an overlay layer, I can kind of throw all these random colors into it and it'll keep the overall value scheme. This is just like a super saturated red with the rock brush in there. But if you notice, there's starting to be like little interesting things happening within that lava. Using a little bit of a darker red. I'm trying to show, like, you know, if you see on the right how there's those little red pieces in there in the main area of lava. So here I'm using what is a secret weapon to make things glow. And if you've watched this far, you're learning something really important right now. This is the color dodge layer. Oh, excuse me, sorry. This is the color dodge layer. So what it does is it's really for making glowy stuff, I feel. Like for video games, anytime there's like something glowy, I lean for color dodge. The thing about it is you have to be really selective with how you use it, otherwise it'll look really fake. But I'm using just a bright orange with that. Like test it out and see what it does. But basically I'm doing a bright orange over the areas that I want it to really glow. And I'm letting it kind of get a little bit into the rock areas so that it looks like it's glowing on top of it. You see how it like gives this really like, it feels like a light source. And so I'm hitting all sorts of stuff that would be getting lit up by this, you know, burning hot magma. Trying to cast some light from it onto the other parts. And erasing out of it in a little bit, in the little spots too. Be pretty nice. You know, there's little dark areas right in the middle of all that brightness. So now this is just a normal layer and I'm painting in, you know, bright lights, bright yellows, just along the edge there. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to select those rocks from the first time. I'm going to make those darker because they're bright when they're cooled, but when they're on fire like this, they're not going to be so bright and cool. So I wanted to do that to also, it'll make the lava feel that much brighter. So I'm kind of having it like melt down into itself right there. It's crazy how different that feeling can be, right? So now when you do color dodge on top of dark areas, they tend to be, it has a little bit of a different effect. So I'm just cleaning up that color dodge layer a little bit. Keeping a little bit of that cooled, because if you notice in the reference on the side, down at the bottom, like it'll still, even if it's like really hot, there'll still be areas that aren't molten yet, or that are starting to cool off. Now I'm just doing a screen layer to like hit it with this red to make the whole thing feel really warm. And you know, anytime I do something, I pull back on it a little bit too. So this cube is all about how like light is affecting the object. And I think that's just something that's really important to pay attention to. Anyway, let me know if you guys have questions. What's a good keyword for this one? Remember those Red Hots, those candies? If you mentioned that, I'll know you watched all 2 parts of this. Okay, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please ask questions if you have them. Thanks.